right? So the next topic is current distributions, fields and patterns of thin linear center-fed antennas of different lengths. Center-fed antenna. What is meant by center-fed antenna? What is meant by fed? Fed in the sense? Fed in the sense what? Fed in the sense feeding, right? Feeding or excitation, right? Excitation, right? Fed or feeding or excitation. Excitation in the sense applying input, right? Applying input signal to the antenna. That is called fed. Center fed. Center fed in the sense the input is applied exactly at the center of the antenna, right? So here you can see the dipole, right? And here the excitation is applied exactly at the center, right? Exactly at the center, and that is called as center fed antennas, right? Excitation is applied at the center, and it is called as center fed antennas. Current distributions, right? That means how current is distributed. So current distribution depends on what? Depends on length of the antenna, right? Earlier I have discussed while discussing the basic antenna elements, right? And there I have discussed, right? So current distribution depends on the length of the antenna. And here in the figure I have shown different antennas of different lengths, right? Dipole antennas of different lengths. All are dipole antennas of different lengths. First one is a length of lambda by 2. Lambda by 2 in the sense half a dipole. And second one 3 lambda by 4. And third one is lambda, a wavelength, right? A wavelength, right? And the current distribution is like this. So this is the current distribution, right? So current distribution over the length of a dipole is sinusoidal. Current distribution over the length of a dipole is sinusoidal, right? You can see here, right? At the center is maximum. At the center, the current is maximum here, right? For a half wave dipole, it is maximum, and at the ends, it tapers off. At the ends, it tapers off. That means current decreases at the ends. For all dipole antennas, you can see at the ends, the current approaches to zero, right? You can see in all the antennas which I have shown in the figure, you can see here. And for 3 lambda by 4 antenna, and here you can observe at the center there is a small dip, right? This is because of the excitation. At the center there is a small dip towards the antenna, right? That's why earlier while deriving the half wave dipole, I have shown the current distribution like this. So at the center there is a small dip towards the excitation, towards the antenna. That is due to the excitation applied here, right? Lambda means 2 half wavelengths. So this is lambda by 2, and this is another lambda by 2, a half wavelength, right? And um, just a minute. And here 5 lambda by 2. So this one is 5 lambda by 2, and this is the current distribution. And 3 lambda by 2, right? 3 lambda by 2 in the sense 3 half wavelengths, right? 3 half wavelengths, and the current will be distributed like this. And 2 lambda, all right? 2 lambda in the sense on 2 full wavelengths. You can see here, right? 2 full wavelengths. So this is lambda, right? And this one is lambda, right? 2 full wavelengths. Here you can see. So this is one full wave, and this is another full wave, right? So 2 lambda, right? This is 2 lambda, right? And 3 lambda by 2 and 5 lambda by 2, right? So these are the current distributions, right? So current distribution is sinusoidal, and it depends on the length of the antenna, right? So just an example, I have shown a few antennas here, and um, for example, the radiation pattern also I have shown here. You can see the radiation pattern of 3 different antennas I have shown, just to show you, right? So these are the radiation patterns of different antennas I have shown here, right? And these are the original radiation pattern, 3-dimensional, right? 3-dimensional radiation patterns, and these are this is a result of the simulation, right? In a software, the radiation patterns are drawn like this. So this is the radiation pattern of lambda by 2, right? Earlier I have drawn, right? I have drawn the 2-dimensional radiation pattern, right? Like this, the same. This is the same, right? That means cross sectional, right? Um, uh, if you insert a plate here, right, or a plane here, and if you insert a plane here, the radiation pattern looks like this, right? A cross sectional. I have drawn a cross sectional, right? A donut shape you will get, or a shape of 8 you will get, right? So this is the radiation pattern in 2-dimensionally, and this is 3-dimensional radiation pattern. But similarly, one wavelength dipole, same radiation pattern, shape is same, but only thing is you can observe here, right? So the beams, right? Beams a little bit narrow compared with this one, right? Compared with this one, here the beams are little bit narrowed, right? This is that means beam area is less. Beam area is less compared with this one, half wave dipole, right? And coming to 3 lambda by 2. So this is 1.5 lambda in the sense 3 lambda by 2. That means 3 half wavelengths, right? So this is lambda by 2. 1 lambda in the sense what? 2 lambda by 2, right? Lambda by 2, 2 lambda by 2, and 3 lambda by 2, right? So radiation pattern will be like this, right? Cross sectional. If you insert a plane here, right? If you insert a plane, or if you cut here like this by inserting a plane, the radiation pattern will looks like this. This is the radiation pattern, right? The cross section, right? So if you take the cross section of this radiation pattern, it looks like this, right? So I always draw the 2-dimensional radiation pattern, not 3-dimensional radiation pattern, right? So this is same, right? So this one, and this is the 3-dimensional pattern, and this is the 2-dimensional view of radiation pattern, right? So these are the radiation patterns. Just for example, I have shown a few antennas, lambda by 2, 2 lambda by 2, and 3 lambda by 2. That means as number of half wavelengths increases, lobes also increases, right? Here number of lobes are getting increased as the length of the antenna increases, number of lobes go on increases, right? So this is about the current distributions and the radiation patterns of different antennas, right? So this is one small topic which you have, right? And let us move on to the next topic. Very important, not this one. Next topic is important. So antenna theorems. Let us discuss some antenna theorems which already you have discussed, and you know, right? These theorems you know, right? One important antenna theorem is reciprocity theorem, right? Already in network theory, you have studied reciprocity theorem, right? Reciprocity theorem, maximum power transfer theorem, right? All those theorems you have studied, right? In network theory, right? So reciprocity theorem and maximum power transfer theorems more often used in antennas, right? Maximum power transfer theorem. So what is meant by maximum power transfer theorem? What is meant by maximum power transfer theorem? So maximum power will be delivered to load. Maximum power will be delivered to load when the load impedance is equal to source impedance, right? When load impedance is equal to source impedance, then we can say that maximum power will be delivered to the load, right? How we can imply this theorem to antennas? We know that antenna, transmitting antenna. So this is the transmitting antenna, right? And this is the transmitter, right? Transmitter, and a transmission line is connected between transmitting antenna, right? Transmitting antenna and transmitter, right? So from the transmitter to transmitting antenna, um, maximum power will be transferred when the impedances are matched, right? When the impedance between the output of transmitter and the input of antenna is matched, then maximum power will be delivered to the input terminals of the antenna. Similarly, right? Similarly, we know that antenna radiates EM wave, right? So maximum power will be radiated into the space when antenna impedance, right? When antenna impedance is equal to the free space impedance, right? When antenna impedance is equal to the free space impedance, right? Free space impedance, then maximum power will be radiated into the space, right? And similarly at the receiving end also, right? So at the receiving end, and this is the just a minute. So this is the receiving antenna, right? A receiving antenna. This is the receiving antenna, right? And the receiving antenna receives the incident wave. This is the incident wave. Incidence on the receiving antenna, right? So maximum power will be received or sensed by the receiving antenna when the impedance is matched, right? When the free space impedance here is matched with the antenna impedance, then the antenna will receive maximum power, right? So similarly, reciprocity theorem, right? So reciprocity theorem is also one important theorem in antennas, right? So what reciprocity theorem says, I will give the definition with respect to antenna, right? In analogous to antennas, an antenna can be treated either as receiving device, gathering the incoming radiation field and conducting electrical signals to the output terminals, or right, an antenna can be treated as receiving device, right? Receiving device in the sense what? Gathering the incoming radiating field, right? Gathering the incoming radiation field and conducting electrical signals to the output terminals, or as a transmitting system, right? As a transmitting system, or as a transmitting device, launching electromagnetic waves outward, right? So therefore, the same antenna, right? Same antenna can be treated as transmitting antenna or receiving antenna. If that is the case, if a voltage is applied to the terminals of antenna A, right? Let us say one antenna is A, transmitting antenna is A, and receiving antenna is B. Let us say like that, right? If a voltage is applied to the terminals of antenna A and the current is measured at the terminals of another antenna B, right? Another antenna B. right? So antenna A, we have voltage is applied, and the current is measured at the terminals of antenna B, right? Then an equal current will be applied at the terminals of A if the same voltage is applied to B, right? If the same voltage is applied to B, right? Let me explain very clearly. I have shown a figure here, right? So this is the figure, and you can understand very clearly by looking at this figure. So this is antenna A, right? So this is antenna A, and this is antenna B, right? Here a voltage is applied, right? A voltage is applied at the input terminals, and current is measured, right? Current is measured. If the same voltage is applied here, right? If the same voltage is applied here, right? Let us say this is VA and this is VB, and let us say this is IB, right? And the same current IA, this is the current, right? So from reciprocity theorem, we can say that a voltage VA is applied to antenna A, and IB is measured. If the same voltage is applied to antenna B, the current sensed at the antenna A is IA, right? From this, we can say that VAIA, right? VAIA is equal to VBIB, right? VAIA is equal to VBIB. So this is called as a reciprocity theorem, right? So that means what? We can use transmitting antenna as a receiving antenna, or we can use receiving antenna as a transmitting antenna. Both, either, right? We can use transmitting antenna as receiving antenna, and we can use receiving antenna as transmitting antenna, right? Duplex, both way. In both way, we can use the antenna. But here there is some condition, right? If we want to use like that, the antennas should maintain certain properties, right? So these are those properties, right? So the properties of transmitting and receiving antenna that exhibit the reciprocity theorem are, so these are the properties: equality of directional patterns, right? So the above said theorem, reciprocity theorem, is implied when both the antennas, transmitting antenna or receiving antenna, both the antennas should have same directional patterns, right? Same directional pattern. Same directional patterns in the sense they should have same radiation pattern, right? And directivities, same directivities. Directivity should be the same. Effective lengths, equality of effective lengths. Both the effective lengths should be the same. And antenna impedance, right? Antenna impedance. If these properties satisfies, right? If all these properties satisfies, then transmitting antenna can be used as receiving antenna, or receiving antenna can be used as transmitting antenna for the same purpose, right? For the same purpose or for the same application, we can use same antenna as transmitter or receiver, right? If those antennas satisfy these properties, right? And that is about the reciprocity theorem, right? So these are the two important theorems with respect to antennas, and as far as antennas are concerned: reciprocity theorem and maximum power transfer theorem, right? And coming to the next important topic is the loop antenna, right? So next important topic is loop antenna, right? So we have discussed the thin linear wire antennas so far, right? What are those? Short dipole we have discussed, right? Short dipole, half wave dipole we have discussed, right? And quarter wave monopole we have discussed, right? This we have discussed previously, right? And now let us just a few deviation from the topic. and not a deviation from the topic. This is also comes under thin linear wire antenna, because this antenna is also made by using a thin wire, right? Using a thin wire, right? So a thin wire in the shape of a loop, a thin wire in the shape of a loop. It is called as loop antenna, right? So here I have shown a few real-time antennas, right? So these are the real-time antennas: circular loop antenna, square loop antenna, folded circular loop antenna, right? Folded circular loop antenna, or loop antenna with number of turns, right? Loop antenna with number of turns. So therefore, loop antenna which is in the shape of a loop, right? Loop antenna, it is called as a loop antenna because it is in the shape of a loop, a small or a thin wire, bent in the to form a loop, right? A thin wire bent to form a loop. It is called as loop antenna. So loop antenna can be of different shapes: circular shape, square shape, or rectangular shape, or any other shape with number of turns. And let us say the number of turns is n. It can have n number of turns, right? It may be 2 number of turns, or 3 number of turns, or 4 or 5, whatever it may be, right? And the loop antenna is operated around the frequency 3 megahertz to 3 gigahertz. So this is the operating frequency of the antenna, 300 megahertz to 3 gigahertz. So this is the operating frequency of the antenna, right? And loop antennas are of two types, right? Loop antennas are of two types, right? So one is a short loop antenna, and another one is long loop antenna, right? Short loop and long loop, large loop or small loop, right? So large loop antenna, small loop antenna, right? So large loop antenna, small loop antenna. Large loop antennas are called when the dimensions or the length, right, is in terms of a wavelength, right? The length is in terms of resonant antennas, right? They will resonate, right? That means they will travel, right? That means EM waves will be radiated, right? Will be radiated from the antenna, right? Hence, large loop antennas are used to transmit EM waves, right? That means transmitting antenna. Large loop antennas can be used as transmitting antennas, right? Because they radiate, right? And they have high radiation efficiency, right? High radiation efficiency. That is large loop antenna. And coming to small loop antenna, and they are in the order of lambda by 10, 1/10 of a wavelength, right? 1/10 of a wavelength, and such type of loops are called as short loops or small loops, right? So these are less resonant, right? These are less resonant. So therefore, these antennas cannot be used as transmitting antenna, but these antennas can be used as receiving antennas, right? Small loop antennas are effective in receiving mode. Small loop antennas are effective in receiving mode, and large loop antennas are effective in transmitting mode, right? And one very important application of loop antenna is direction finding, right? So that is the main and very important application of loop antenna, right? That is the main and very important application of loop antenna is direction finding, right? So they will find the direction of incoming signal, in what direction incoming signal are coming, right? So in what direction the incoming signal are coming, that direction we can find by using a loop antenna, right? So that is the reason why loop antennas are also called as direction finding antennas, right? Direction finding antennas, right? And preferably small loop antennas, right? Small loop antennas are used are used for direction finding, right? So because small loop antennas are used are effective in receiving mode, right? Because they are less resonate, so therefore they are used in receiving mode. So therefore small loop antennas are used in direction finding applications, right? So coming to the procedure, the loop antenna is rotated, right? The loop antenna is rotated in different direction till a null is observed, right? Till a null is observed. Null in the sense what? No signal, right? Null in the sense no signal, right? So that means whenever the indication, it may be a power meter or it may be ammeter, right? So whenever the meter shows zero reading, whenever the meter shows zero reading, and that means it is the direction of incoming signal, right? For example, let us take a square loop antenna, right? So this is the square loop antenna, right? And we know that square loop contains four sides, 1, 2, 3 and 4 sides, right? It contains four sides. And let us say that this is the incoming signal, right? So this is the incoming signal, right? So incoming signal, right? So this is the incoming signal. When incoming signal incidents, when incoming signal incidents on the square loop, right? On the square loop, and as we know that square loop contains four sides, right? Side 1 and side 3, side 1 and side 3 are perpendicular to the incoming signal. Side 2 and side 4 are parallel to incoming signal, right? Side 1 and side 3 are perpendicular to the incoming signal, and side 2 and side 4 are parallel to the incoming signal. So therefore side 1 and side 3, right? Side 1 and side 3 acts as dipoles, right? Side 1 and side 3 acts as dipoles. So therefore whenever incoming signal falls on side 1, right, the current will be induced, right? The current will be induced in this direction, right? And similarly the current induced on third side also, right? Because it is vertical, right? Vertical to the incoming signal, right? So therefore the current, let us say I1, right? I1 induces on side 1 and current induces on side 3, and let us say this current is I3, right? If you observe, current I1 and current I3 are in opposite directions, right? Current I1 and current I3 are in opposite directions, so therefore they will be cancelled out, right? So these two currents which are in opposite directions, they will be cancelled out, and in the meter which is connected to this antenna, right? Indicator, right? Indicator which is connected to this antenna, right? So in that indicator it shows null, right? It shows null, null in the sense zero, zero reading it shows, right? So whenever it shows zero reading, whenever it shows, the indicator shows zero reading, and that is the direction of incoming signal. So therefore this is the direction of incoming signal, right? So whenever antenna is rotated in this direction like this, right, we got null in the reading, so therefore this is the direction of incoming signal, right? On the other hand, right, on the other hand, let us say this is the square loop antenna, right? Side 1, side 2, side 3 and side 4, right? So this is the square loop antenna, and let us say these are the incoming signals, right? So these are the incoming signals, right? Incoming signals, right? So here these incoming signals, right? So these incoming signals makes an angle theta. These incoming signals makes an angle theta with side 1 and side 3. So therefore the current induced in these sides is not the same, right? The current induced in these two sides is not the same, right? Because the side 2 and side 4 are also not in parallel with incoming signal, right? They are not in parallel with incoming signal. So therefore, current will be induced in side 1, current will be induced in side 4, and induced in side 3, and induced in side 2, all sides, right? Some current will be induced in all sides. So therefore, the overall current will not be zero, right? Overall current will not be zero. So therefore, the meter indicates some value, right? So meter is indicating some value in the sense it is not the direction of the incoming signal, right? So therefore, whenever the incoming signals are perpendicular, that is very important point. Whenever the incoming signals are perpendicular to the loop antenna, right, to the loop antenna, then a null will be induced, right? A null will be induced, and that is the direction of the incoming signal, right? That is the direction of the incoming signal. So therefore, the side of the loop, and whenever the side of the loop antenna and incoming signals are at 90 degrees, then indicator which is connected to the antenna will give zero reading, and that will be the direction of the incoming signal, right? That will be the direction of the incoming signal, and this is how we will find out the direction of the incoming signal, right? So this type of antenna you can see in geographic channels, right? National Geographic Channel. The researchers they will track, right? They will track the animals. They will track the animals by transponder, by inserting, right? By inserting a transponder in the animal, and they will leave the animal into the forest, and they will track the animal in what direction the animal is going, in what direction on what animal they are researching, right? On that animal body, the transponder will be fixed, right? The transponder will be fixed inside the body of the animal, right? And the animal will be left into the forest, and they will track in what direction the animal is moving in the forest. They will track the movement, right? The movement of the animals, right? In that applications, the loop antennas are used. That is the main application of loop antenna, right? And coming to the radiation pattern, right? Radiation pattern of loop antenna. So this is the radiation pattern of loop antenna, right? Radiation pattern of loop antenna. So this is the loop center, you can see here. So this is the loop, right? So this is the loop, right? So this is the loop, and the loop, and this is the center axis, right? Axis passing through the center of the loop. This is the axis passing through the center of the loop, right? This is the axis, right? I will draw here with some angle I will draw. So this is the loop antenna, and this is the center of the loop, right? So therefore, center axis is this. Center axis is this, right? So this is the loop antenna, and this is the center point, right? And this is the axis of the loop. Same here, right? So this is the loop side view of the loop, right? And this is the axis of the loop. The radiation pattern is perpendicular to the axis of the loop. So this is the axis of the loop, axis of the loop, and the radiation pattern is perpendicular to the axis of the loop, like this, right? Radiation pattern is perpendicular to the axis of the loop, like this, right? Perpendicular to the axis of the loop, right? And when loop antenna, right? When loop antenna is elevated, right? When loop antenna is here, this is the loop antenna, 90 degrees and 270 degrees, right? 90 degrees and 270 degrees on this axis. Loop antenna is on this axis, right? For example, if loop antenna is elevated to 20 degrees, like this. So this is the loop antenna, right? So this is the axis, 90 degrees and 270 degrees elevated, right? So if the loop antenna is elevated to 20 degrees like this, so this is 20 degrees, right? And the radiation pattern will be like this, right? You can see here this this one, right? So this one is the radiation pattern, right? 20 degrees. This one is the radiation pattern, right? And if the antenna, if the loop antenna is elevated further 45 degrees, right? For 45 degrees, dotted lines, you can see the dotted line. So this is the radiation pattern. So this radiation pattern is almost looks like omnidirectional, right? Looks like omnidirectional, right? That means radiating in all direction, omnidirectional. And if it is the elevation angle is 60 degrees, right? The elevation angle is 60 degrees, and this one, this solid line, you can see here. So this is almost a circle which indicates that radiates in all directions, right? In all directions. That means omnidirectional radiation pattern we have, right? So if the radiation pattern is omnidirectional, then we can find out the direction of the incoming signals, right? So because we don't know, right? In all the directions it has radiation pattern, means what? You cannot find out, in what direction the incoming signal is coming, right? So only when, if the radiation pattern is like this, right, a shape of 8 bidirectional, then only we can find out the direction of incoming signal. Then only we can use in direction finding applications, right? So this is the radiation pattern, right? So this is about the loop antenna, right? At this juncture, I will stop my discussion. In my next class, I will discuss the radiation distance derivation, right? So derivation of radiation distance, how to find out the radiation distance of a loop antenna, and how to find out the voltage induced, right? The voltage induced, that also I will derive the expression, right? Here you can see here, just now I have explained, right? So whenever incoming signals falls, right? Whenever the incoming signals incidence on the loop antenna, right? Some power or some voltage will be induced, or some current will be induced. And what is the amplitude of the induced source, right? Induced source, and that we will derive in the next class, right? So with this, I will close my discussion for this day. Thank you very much for your patient listening, even though, okay, it is exactly at the right time. I am closing my discussion, right? So 150, it is 150. So therefore, at the exact time, I'm closing my discussion. And so thank you very much for your patient listening.